YouTube. Give us a thumbs up or a comment if you can. All right, hopefully you can all hear me. I'm just trying to get the YouTube and Instagram one to work. It's having a tech glitch, of course. Oh, I'm still drinking that one. I'll finish it in a sec. Let's go live. So that one's still works. So my computer is working on, naturally, Queensland time. Of course. But welcome to my first live. How exciting. So we'll start off, I guess, with the year that was. And we faced a few trials, a few tribulations. I said to Mum at the start, it'll take probably a good 3 months to adjust to life on the road and the caravan, things going wrong and all that sort of stuff. Hey Georgia, how you going, kiddo? Stevie will be awake soon and she's gonna come and annoy you. The issues, I guess, have turned more into, is probably gonna be about a 6-month thing. So that's always fun. I'll still try and keep getting this one right while I'm talking to you. So we've had a few issues with the van, actually. We had the tyre blowout that you all know about. We had the awning break the first time. It was 2 years old and that was just, it just broke. There was no wind, there was no nothing. It just simply broke. So that was frustrating. We've had the water pump go. Our hot water system doesn't work. We've got aircon leaking issues that is leaking on my bed because it sits right above the bed. We had solar issues. So we've had huge issues happen that, how would you explain that? They're not huge in their own right, but when they all come together at once, they make really big issues. Solar, for example, is a massive one. I bought this van to go off-road and all of those cool things. However, it didn't hold up as well as I expected. So I wanted to have the solar to go off-grid and everything like that. But the solar itself was failing and it wasn't talking. The battery wasn't, and it's still not, wasn't talking from the battery itself to the interface. So I would still have a good 50% battery life, but it was shutting down. So that was really, really frustrating. I'm still trying to figure this out. This is very frustrating because I had it all ready to go. How annoying. I wonder if I can update it. Edit. And we'll get it to go live now at 7:34. 7:05. How frustrating. There it is. We'll go live on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook at 7:15, guys. So sorry for that one. That's frustrating, isn't it? But that'll be working in 10 minutes. So yes, the van has had its issues. Boxing Day and Christmas Day, let's talk about that, hey? So on the 24th of Christmas Eve, I sent Nana and Stevie home to Queensland, to Palm Beach, where my sister Karen was hosting. And sorry guys, let me finish this because Mum's hanging out.
No gas.
Don't worry about it then. Oh, here. To tech issues, I tell you what. Mum's making me a coffee. There you go. And we use a jet boil because it is so super duper quick. So yes, sent Nana and Stevie home to Palm Beach, and my eldest sister Nikki didn't know about the surprise, so Christmas Day was lovely for her. She got a very big surprise, as did Stevie's cousins Sam and Jamie, so that was super exciting for them. I stayed with Tisha the dog because Tisha's too old to travel now on a plane. She would probably die. And so I stayed with the car in the van. So Christmas Day, the weather forecast was meant to be pretty decent, pretty calm. I was thinking, excellent, I can maybe get the boat in and do some fishing, have just a great time being an adult and not having to, I guess, keep an eye on Stevie 24/7. That wasn't the case. It blew its bum off on Christmas Day, and the awning flipped all the way over onto the roof. The solar panels seemed to be okay, so that's lucky, but that brand new awning, which was less than a week old, destroyed, absolutely destroyed. So that's off now and it's going through the insurance stuff, so that's always fun. Boxing Day, just when I thought Christmas Day had it all, in comes Boxing Day. So Boxing Day again, it was not forecast. It was meant to be another pretty decent day, maybe a little bit of wind, but it was meant to be an easterly wind, not an onshore wind. So the next thing you know, the wind has whipped around and it is pushing this tide higher and higher and higher, and it caught a lot of people out on that beach. And then when posting about it on social media, of course, you get the people that say, well, don't you check the tides? Don't you check the weather? You know, you're beach camping. And I thought, well, of course I do. I absolutely check the tide and I absolutely check the weather and the wind and everything like that, but this was not forecast. So then I thought, you know what, this is a great teaching moment. So if you've never beach camped before, whether it just be with your car and a swag, or if you take your caravan on or anything like that, naturally you don't want any of your stuff to be washed away. So you absolutely have to, you know, be aware of the weather. So if you've never done it, download multiple apps. So I tend to use Willy Weather a lot. However, Willy Weather was really, really wrong. BOM gives you all the info, but you have to interpret it. So you have to know which way is north, which way is south, which way is east. And I mean, I know for some people that's really easy, but some people aren't. How you going, Paisley? How are you, mate? Some people just don't have that directional knowledge. It can be a challenge. So my tip would be to download multiple weather apps and monitor multiple different weather platforms. That way you can mix and match them all together and you can get, I guess, a happy medium, or you can get maybe a more complete vision of what the weather is gonna, you know, happen. Because if you rely on one and only one, it can be an issue. Oh, Paisley. Fair enough. Paisley, how you going, mate? So that was Boxing Day. So Boxing Day was definitely a time. It was pretty hectic. It was touch and go, but sorry, with the flies, you can't help them. But you know what? It was an experience, that's for sure. It's taught me some extra lessons. And I think for a few other people on that beach, it's taught them some lessons too. And that's another reason why I stayed with the van and sent Mum and Stevie home and I didn't go home with Stevie. It's because if something were to go wrong, yes, it's definitely Australian. I do have an Australian accent. Yeah, if something were to go wrong, then I'd be there to handle it, which I was. So, you know, live and learn, right? But the year that was, we've seen some pretty incredible places. We've done a lot in 4 months, actually, a lot more than people travel in 4 months. It's been pretty quick. We've slowed down a lot in South Australia, and it was meant to be a lot slower. However, with having to leave Royalty Beach, I just wasn't going to risk it any more than what we had. You know, that's pushed a lot of plans forward again. So I won't say exactly where we are at the moment, but we're in the Adelaide Hills. So we're going to be visiting a lot of the Barossa wineries So that's very exciting for us because we do like a good winery. We went to Robber Dog's Distillery yesterday in Mount Pleasant. That was an awesome place. I really, really enjoyed Robber Dog's. Great gin. So yeah, we're going to be exploring the Adelaide Hills and we're going to be having a drinky or two, of course. What else did we do this new year? We started out going to Cape York. We got to the tip and as always the Ranger faulted. I mean, it faulted at Townsville, which was an EGR sensor. So that was a very quick, nice overnight fix, which was fantastic. We could have been stuck there for months because with people traveling, dealerships and caravan repair mods, they're booked out for months in advance. So we're just super duper fortunate we could get that fixed overnight and continue our journey. Cape York, it's cursed for me with potentially the Ranger, which is no longer. We'll get to that. Tisha was trying to get up on the step. She just got smashed. But we got to Cape York and then the viscous hub on the Ranger, on the fan, seized. So that overheated the engine, cooked all of its coolant. This time though, I got the warning on the dash saying, hey, your car's overheating. Thank goodness, because Stevie, I heard a little Stevie voice. Nana's gonna go sort that out. Thanks, Mum. Yeah. And it warned me. So we were very, very close to needing another new engine in the Ranger. Luckily, we got it fixed in Cape York and there was no further issues. Unlike last time, there was a lot of other issues. But that's all got sorted and we continued on and we punched back down through Mount Isa and the Mary Kathleen old uranium site. That was awesome. I loved staying there. That was such a cool free camp and the colour of that uranium mine water was just gorgeous. From there we went to Catherine where we almost died of heat. It was so hot. It was so incredibly hot. So we stayed in a caravan park there just so we could run the aircon 24/7. It was awfully hot. And then we punched straight through the middle, got to see all the centres of Australia, the centre of the centre, the geographical centre. So that was super duper cool. And then we got down to Coober Pedy, which I absolutely loved. The underground dugouts where people live is just such a different world and a different experience. So that was really, really cool. That episode's coming up next week, actually. And the following episode, the next week, will be a little bit more of Coober Pedy, which didn't fit into that episode. However, we had a lot of recording issues with my old GoPros. It wasn't recording sound or voice. So that'll be a nice little dubbing experience for you all. But there was just, we did a tour called Noble Tours and it was just so incredible that even though the voice recording didn't happen, we had no sound, it's too good not to share with you. So I'll have to just, dub it. So it's gonna sound like an awesome Netflix show. Then we went to Port Lincoln where we spent a lot of time. So Port Lincoln will also be coming up. I did some cool things at Port Lincoln. I did shark cage diving, so you'll have to wait and see if I saw a shark. I snorkeled with the sea lions. That was epic. So just wait till you see all that footage. It's actually really cool. Had another GoPro malfunction on that one. That was always fun. The GoPro 13, I bought it brand new the previous day to go on the sea lion tour. 29 seconds into it, leaked. So stuffed the whole GoPro, but that was fine. Warranty, got a replacement. I've now got a case for it because I'm not risking that again. And then Coffin Bay, did the oyster tour. Stevie, we found out, has very expensive taste and loves a good oyster. And that footage is all coming up. And then we moved on from Port Lincoln to Wirralty Beach. And as you know, that was a disaster. We got one epic day of weather there. That was stunning. And then now we're in the Adelaide Hills. So that, I guess, was the year that was. And we'll move on to the Ranger's farewell. So there's a bit of history with the Ranger and I. In 2022, Stevie was only 13 months old and we both went up to Cape York together. We did it solo, as we do. And the car blew up there. The fan broke, destroyed the radiator, no warnings of overheating. The car cooked itself, just simply turned off, shut down. Anyway, that was a huge battle with Ford. It took a good 15 months actually to see that through from start to finish. They did fix it under warranty, but then refused to reimburse my out-of-pocket expenses, which were close to about $7,000. And for me, that is a lot of money. So we ended up having to go to QCAT for that, which was a bit of a shame. So I won. They settled 24 hours before we were due in court. They settled out of court and reimbursed me absolutely everything that they said they would. So that was great, but it put a very sour taste in my mouth with Ford Australia and the Ranger. After that, I just hated that car because it just turned such an awesome time into the most stressful time of my life, really. I was losing sleep because I was a single mum. Yes, by choice, that is my choice. But at the same time, $7,000 to not have, that you did have, is a lot of money. And then to not have a car for months on end until they gave me a hire car. So it was just a very stressful time, and Ford Australia were very difficult to deal with. And they dragged it out, hoping I would go away, no doubt. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to fight you on this because this is what you do to people. And people then, you know, they give up, and that's how they get away with it. And I just thought, no, you're not getting away with this. I'm going to fight you on it. So I did, and I won because I knew I was in the right. So yes, that was a good time. Not really. But having said that, the Ranger did take me on some pretty awesome adventures, I have to say. We did Cape York, we went to Fraser Island, we went to Stradbroke Island, we did the Darwin and Arnhem Land trip with a group of Ford Ranger owners and women owners, which was an awesome trip. Met some amazing friends on that, friends who I still stay in touch with today, like Ali. We caught up at Waralty Beach. Shah and Ethan, we did a Fraser Island trip. Ali was along with that one too. Still talk daily to Ash and Alison. We have our little messenger chat, so we all chat together on that. So just, it took me to some awesome places where I got to meet some really awesome people. So in that sense, the Ranger did its job, but I wish I didn't pump, you know, a good 40 to 50 grand into it in accessories, because you never get that money back, which I did know that, but it was meant to be my 20-year car. However, it just was a lemon. But they're all common faults. These are across the whole Ford spectrum. So anyway, I thought, you know what, it's time to start looking into a new car, because I was just waiting for something to go wrong. And while traveling around Australia, I didn't want to have to worry about the car breaking down, when it was going to break down, and more importantly, where. Australia is a huge place and there's a lot of remote places. So I definitely did not want that breaking down in the middle of nowhere. Even though I'm fully insured, got all the roadside assist, all of that jazz, still it's a stress I didn't need. So I started to think about a couple of different cars. I looked into the 300 series Land Cruiser. Quite expensive for a 6-cylinder. And Land Cruiser, you pay the Toyota tax, as everyone says. But I just wasn't sure on the 300 if it had the GVM that I would want, the towing capacity that I would want. It's a wagon, which always is fun touring in. But then I looked at the 200 series, which are all secondhand now, and they hold their value very well. But then I would have to get rid of the Ranger in my own time. So it just wasn't logistically practicable to, you know, buy a 200 series secondhand and then try and deal with the Ranger. So I was going to buy a mate's 200 actually. It was a beautiful car, but it just wouldn't have worked out financially, because I'd still have to sell the Ranger in order to have enough money to pay that out of pocket bit, I'd say. So then I also thought about the Y62, because it's a lot cheaper than the Land Cruisers. It's a petrol though, it's a V8, so that's a bit of an unknown with a petrol V8 for me. I've had petrol cars in the past, but they're all just your little runabouts. But I had the diesel Ranger, and I just thought, traveling Australia, I think the diesel is the way to go. That's just a personal preference. Ran into Graham Cahill in Cape York and had a chat to him about his Y62, and he said he would never go back to diesel. This petrol car has changed his life. So, you know, it's all personal preference. I looked at that, and then I also looked into a troop carrier, funnily enough, this beautiful one sitting behind me, and I thought, V8s, you can't order them anymore, so you'd have to buy it already built from a dealership. And I just was lucky enough, I found one in Perth, one in Sydney, in the sandy taupe colour. I just love that colour. If you're going to buy a Troopy, I feel it has to be that colour. And it's umming and ahhing, and we're in Tumby Bay, which is near Port Lincoln, and I just had a couple of beers, you know, which is a shock horror, I know. And I thought, you know what, stuff it, I'm signing this contract. So I bought the Troopy. I got a trade-in for the Ranger, and I drove from Port Lincoln to Perth to drop off the Ranger and pick up the Troopy and back again. That was a fun trip across the Nullarbor, I have to say. Yes, Mother? Oh yeah, it's always about Nana, right? So Nana wouldn't let me take Stevie. Hang on, Bubba, Nana's gonna come in and get you sorted, and then you can come out and say hi to everyone, sweetie. Mum life. Yeah, so Nana stayed with Stevie in Port Lincoln, the caravan park there. She wouldn't let me take Stevie, how rude. But that's okay. I had a fun road trip myself, listening to podcasts, cranking the music, and that's when the water pump went. So that was a fun time for Nana, but yeah, she looked after Stevie for me while I did that epic trip across the Nullarbor. Stumpy, I am currently in the Adelaide Hills in South Australia. Welcome to my live, mate. So yeah, I got the Troopy, brought it back. So now the build series, I guess, on the Troopy starts, right? That's gonna be a fun time really, because when you buy a Troopy, you don't just buy the Troopy and it's ready to roll. You have to make it that classic, iconic Australian Troopy. There's a lot to be done. So next week, actually, next Friday, the bull bar's going on. I'm from Mo, Victoria. I've not been to Mo and Vic. Where's Mo close to in one of the big kind of hubs that I might know? Done a fair bit of travelling around Victoria actually, but not been to Mo. So yes, the Troopy, the bull bar goes on next Friday, and then I've got the rear seats coming out actually. That'll probably be in another week or so, and a specific Safety Excel safety seats going in for Stevie. 2 hours from Melbourne. Oh, that's all right. Nice. How cool. Latrobe Valley, Gippsland. Yes, okay. Yes, I have travelled around and through there. Done a fair bit of travel in South Australia. There's a few episodes sorry, not South Australia, Victoria. There's a few episodes I did. They'll be, you know, in my previous, if you go through YouTube, there'll be a few there. Probably not my best editing. I was still learning at the time. I know my Outback Queensland videos were absolutely horrendous, but I'm getting better. I'm learning. So yeah, I've got a few videos there, episodes for New South Wales and Victoria, because we combined those southern states into a trip. So that was good fun in winter. So that was freezing being a Queenslander. Correction, I live in Queensland. I'm not from Queensland. I'm a New South Wales girl. I'm a blue. Cannot ever stress that enough. Go the Blues. Then there, the Troopy. So back to that. The safety seat will go in, so that'll give me a lot more storage. We've had a bit of a travel change because Mum it's James Stumpy Griffiths boxing. Sweet. I'll have to check that out. That'll be really cool to have a look at your boxing videos, Stumpy, because I'm in the fitness thing, new year, new me, all that good stuff. But no, I've got to get fitter again. I've let myself go quite a lot at the start of this trip. So I went for my first run yesterday. That was exciting. Almost died. I only ran a K. But no, it wasn't too bad, and it wasn't too slow either for someone who is overweight and has not done anything in quite some time. And yeah, so the travel plans. Mum sold her house just before we left actually. As soon as it sold, we were pretty much packed up and ready to go. And she is now has bought a new place in a independent living for old people, years old. And we have to move her into that in March. So we'll be heading home then to move mum in, which will just be a crazy time. So I'm pretty much just dropping her off and then leaving again, to be honest. Probably catch up with, you know, family and stuff, see how we go. But that's thrown a few spanners in the works. So I'm thinking then maybe getting the roof chopped back in Queensland, because I'm looking at the Headspace campers. It's between that and I can never pronounce it, Mulgo, because they're both Australian companies. So I want to go Australian owned, made, chopped, all that good stuff. Ah, your auntie. Sherry or Cherry? Either way, apologies for mispronouncing it. Townsville. I have been to Townsville a lot of times. My basketball career took me there every single year. It's a cool place, full of army people, which is fine. Never got there for army, however, but Stevie's having a little sookie bum, just woken up. She generally wakes up super happy when it's me, but Nana's there, so she's a bit grumpy. Yeah, so that's going to happen. We'll head home and then I'll be taking off probably straight over to WA from there, actually, because there's so much to see and do in Western Australia. I've already booked Exmouth and the whale sharks, to swim with the whale sharks in May, on May 7 actually. Ali and I are going to do that together, so we'll definitely be there then.
I don't know what cord to connect to her phone.
Oh, is it dead, is it?
Yeah.
Pull the one out of my little holder there and plug it into that.
The holder. Oh.
On the wall, yeah.
Yep.
Mum life. So that is a new travel change of direction. We are just chopping and changing. We're all over the place. This has not gone entirely to plan in the nice, beautiful figure eight that I had intended, but you know, what does ever go to plan? Coming up this year on the channel though, it's going to be quite an exciting year. So everyone stay tuned. So I'm going to be introducing tutorials to the channel for solo women, just women, mums, everything like that. So I'm going to be teaching you how to hitch up a caravan, how to reverse, how to tow, how to unbog yourself on beaches, in the bush, recovery, changing a tyre, fault finding in your engine, things like that. So helping you build the skills and the knowledge to get out there and get amongst it. I want to inspire women to get out and do this. You can do it. So if you have any doubts, any fears, hopefully I can help with that with tutorials, and you'll be able to, you know, gain that confidence and those skills to get out here and get amongst it. That's not going to replace the travel vlog that we do every Saturday. That's definitely still going to happen, but there will be scattered in tutorials as well. Ah, Fremantle Dockers. Ooh, Nat 5 sign jumper. Oh, how cool. I'm actually a Sydney Swans fan. Go the Swannies. But yeah, Western Australia is beautiful from what I've seen. I have never been. I've been to every other state now in Australia except for WA. So bring it on. Say hi, Mum.
Hi.
Mum will come and join shortly if you have any questions for Mother. I'll also be doing more lives and Zoom calls. So that's going to be for Patreons. I've just launched Patreon. So for $5 a month, may as well jump into that. For $5 a month, we'll be doing a live the first Thursday of every month. So we'll jump on there, we'll have a chat, tell you everything that's going on, a bit more in-depth personal stuff with me, with Stevie, those sorts of things. So that's just going to be for those Patreons who want to help support us, and we'll give you obviously some good content there. Also, in addition to that, for $15 a month, we'll be doing a monthly Zoom call as well as the live. So on the last Thursday of every month, we'll be doing a big group Zoom call where we can all just chat, catch up, have a good time, have a laugh, and things like that. So that's going to be super duper exciting moving forward. We've got a website coming that's in its development phases at the moment. So that's going to have all of our new merchandise and things like that for you to, you know, if you want to support us in that way, that's great too. And another exciting thing, my mate Ali and I are going to be starting a podcast. It's called Fierce and Free Adventure Life. So it's going to be talking all about traveling this great country of ours and giving, again, tips and tricks to women, getting awesome, inspiring ladies onto the channel who in their life do awesome things as well. So they're living this lifestyle too. So we're going to be getting them on as guest speakers. It's going to be a really fun, good time. It'll go for about an hour, that podcast. That's going to be exciting as I had a drink with Paul Roos, Barry Hall in Melbourne. Adam Goods, in 2005. Wow. I actually bumped into Barry Hall. I didn't go and harass him because he was having a meeting at Southport on the Gold Coast. He was in one of the pubs there having a meeting. I think he might be bringing out his own beer or something maybe. I don't know, but stay tuned for that. He might be. So yeah, saw him and I was like, oh my God, it's Barry Hall, you know, huge Swannies fan. So you can't walk past Barry Hall and be like, whatever, it's Barry Hall. All right, so I have to explain one thing with our weekly episodes. We are behind on them, so you'll see on social media that we are in a different location to what you're watching on YouTube, and that is for safety as well, so people don't know exactly where we are at any given point. That's because traveling solo as a female with a young daughter and an elderly mother, that it is a safety thing. So we try and keep our location specifically hidden. So we'll give you a general region of where we're at and all that on social media. However, we won't tell you exactly where we are. And it's also a balance between why we're so behind, or why we're behind. There's a balance between showing enough content of an area that we're exploring and having an adventure in for those who cannot travel, so that they can experience the place and everything like that with never having to go there, to not showing everything so people who do want to go and can experience for themselves can go and see what everything else that it has on offer. So it is quite a balancing act getting that right. The Troopy needs a name. So if you've got any name ideas for the Troopy, shoot them on through, because that would be super duper handy if you could. Is there any comments here on? No, not that I can see on the Facebook and Insta lives. That's okay. That one was a bit behind. We did have a technical glitch. That's due to time zone differences. It's a pain in the bum. Australia has so many different time zones that it is quite difficult. Barry Hall is good value. Yeah, he's a huge, huge man, isn't he? He's a hulk of a man. He's massive. That's why he was pretty dominant in the AFL, I'd say. He's a big bloke. All right, so we'll get Nana on now for Nana to have a bit of a chat about her having travelled with us. Oh, don't get us wrong, Mum and I, we clash. So we've had our bust ups, but for the majority of it, it's pretty good. But she's just doing her morning beauty routine. She has always moisturised day and night. It's just her little thing. It's probably why she looks so good for about 98. She's not 98. But yeah, she's always moisturised, so I'll let her do that. Tell me all about YouTube. Exactly right, Stumpy. Yes, that's right. I don't tell anybody exactly where I am in the location. It's just a safety thing as well as, yes, within the law. It's a good thing. See, there you go. So that's why YouTube and socials don't really marry up, and probably never will. Just reading all the comments. There's a goat in the background if you can hear it. So where we are, it's actually a cool spot in the Adelaide Hills. It's a little donation camp, and it's close to a lot of different things. Like you can travel an hour this way, 20 minutes that way, 30 minutes that way, an hour that way, and you really cool, different, I guess, scenery, experiences, wineries. There's always wineries. We'll have to get Stevie down shortly also. She is waking up. She's having her morning milk, and then we'll get her down here. Yes. Yes, a good boxer he was. I never really saw him box, but I did hear that he got into it and he did all right. A lot of football players, whether it be AFL, NRL, they tend to have a go in boxing after they finish their footy careers. So it wasn't just Barry Hall. You have Paul Gallen, he gave it a red hot go. Naturally, Anthony Mundine did. That's a whole other topic. Who else got into it? Oh, was it Izzy Folau? Did he have a crack at it as well? But yeah, there's a few different footy players that went boxing after their careers or during their careers, and then they came back to footy as well. Call it Aussie. Yeah, Aussie accent. Can't be. See, if anyone can come up with a good name for the Troopy, that would be awesome. Just make sure there's no more comments here on Facey or Insta. It's always fun doing it for the first time. It's such a learning experience, especially when it comes to, maybe it's not even live yet. It's having live video starting. I'm not sure what's going on with the Instagram and Facebook. Sorry guys, that's a different one for me, so it may not be live at all, may not be working. I'm unsure, so sorry about that. All right, mother, come on over. She's finished her beauty routine. Pull up a pew, Mum. Mum, Nana or Maria? Sam Solomon, yeah. Right, you know him. That's pretty cool. All right, Mum, sit down. Would you like to tell everybody your experiences travelling on the road as a 800-year-old lady?
Well, yeah, it's been very good, but you know, being an older person, I'm more for comfort than adventure. So I must admit, this adventure is sort of, well, I didn't expect what's happened, but you know, interesting, eh? I always wanted to go around Australia. I always said I was going to go, and I did buy myself this little camper van, a bomb, which turned out to be a bomb.
The bongo van.
Bongo van, they used to call it. So
it's a whiz bang. So it was an old Toyota Hiace,
yeah,
was it? And converted.
And because I didn't know anything about engines, you know, everywhere I went to, like nobody, anyway, it got to a stage where you drive for 2 hours and then it'd overheat. So then you had to sit around for half an hour, put more, you know, coolant in it. And then, well, the last time that happened, I was on my way from, oh, where is it? Dad's
Gingin?
Yeah, Gingin Bundaberg way home, and yeah, I had to drive home on the main highway at about 60 kilometres an hour on the side, and of course everybody beeped and carried on, and then I would have to stop because it was overheating, and it took me hours to get home, but I eventually got home, and I said, that's it. Yeah, I can't take this anymore because nobody could fix it, or if they didn't want to, you know.
Just shaking it, that's all.
Yeah, so that was it. So I never got to go around Australia, but I've had a few goes with Renell in the last few years, and we've been to some great places. And this is really interesting. as I said, I would like a bit more comfort, but that won't happen if I'm staying here, you know, with the caravan and that. But yeah, well, we could, my daughter couldn't afford a nice big luxurious caravan and everything else, and that was fair enough. So we're managing, we're getting by, but you know, it's a lot of unpacking and packing, which isn't too bad.
I will jump in with that. I also had a 5-cylinder car and a Ford Ranger, so it can't tow huge vans anyway. It couldn't tow huge vans
Yeah.
anyway. And also, the bigger the van, sometimes the less places you can get. So I wanted an off-road van that was big enough to live in, small enough that I could get on all the cool little tracks and be able to do all of those things easily, because I did have the Ranger at the time. So that was a limitation to what you could buy and could tow.
Yeah.
Having said that, I bought this caravan, it was 2 years old, so it was a pre-loved van, as they say, and it was still over $100,000.
Yeah.
So it's not a cheap van either, but just to clarify that, didn't say that, I haven't really given figures on anything that I've bought yet. Hey Vicky, how you going, mate?
Vicky.
Yeah, so if I ever run into Sam Solomon, I'll say g'day from Stumpy Mo Youth Boxing Gym. I'll say that. I'll say g'day to him for you, Mo, and say that I know you now on YouTube. How you going, Vicky, mate? So funnily enough, for those of you, Vicky actually lived behind Mum in Beachmere. So
Well, yeah. Well,
yeah, and then Mum sold up. But that's how we know Vicky. So Vicky's a kind of an old friend, not old in age, not like this one, but old in, we've known her for a few years now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Is anybody?
yeah. Well, Vicky's just saying, hey, babe. So yeah, we're just talking about Mum's adventure on this, and
Yeah.
her wanting more comfort.
Oh, of course. But anyway, as I said,
She is stalking us around Australia.
yeah, I never got to go around Australia with my little bongo van. And then when the daughter said this is what she was going to do, and I thought, wow, you know, and I mean, I do babysitting too. Don't worry, it's not just she's given me all this and I haven't given back, because I babysit the little one, Stevie, and my little dog. She let me bring my little dog, who's 14 in March, Tisha, and she's been enjoying it too. Yeah, so very disdainful though, all these years, and when you try and pat her and pet her, the face goes up and away like, who are you? I don't want to know you.
Because as you can see, she molts.
Yeah, she does molt. But anyway, so I've got her with me too. So, yeah,
I'll go get Stevie.
Yeah,
so keep
anyway,
going.
my daughter's going to try
Oh,
to get
finally!
Stevie up. Yes.
Facebook and Instagram has gone live.
they've
Sorry
gone
for
live.
everybody if you were waiting. I don't know. Technical glitches, first time doing it, it was a pain in the bum. So sorry about that. You're live now. If you've got any questions, hit us up. I'll go get the kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Vicky will like this. But yesterday we went to another, well, it was an all gin, whiskey, cello, whatever. Oh, some beautiful stuff. So Vicky, when I get back home for a while and I come visit, I'll bring you a sample. You will love it. Yeah. Anyway, she's left me here to, I suppose, carry on while she's getting Stevie ready. And no, I find I loved the top end. I loved a lot of the places. Not so much South Australia, like on the coast, even though it's beautiful, very windy. And it's not just breeze, it's a wind and then gusts. So, you know, for me who hates wind, it's sort of been a bit, I don't know whether you say traumatic, but, you know, it's been uncomfortable. But it's been, oh, well, Ranelle, you know, you've got to be open to all the adventures, all the things that are going to happen, you know. And I don't know what I expect all the time. I suppose I expect the weather and everything to be beautiful, like, you know, Queensland area, you know, where I live in Queensland, but I mean, Queensland can get very hot too, so, but, yeah. Oh, I love most of the places, just don't like the wind. I've been told that is South Australia, you know. Yeah. Anyway, she's back.
Sorry, team. Stevie
So I'll
doesn't
leave.
really want to join us at the moment.
I
What a
leave.
poo bum. Sorry
Okay.
about that, G. I know
But
you'd want to see Stevie, but she
Did you
doesn't
tell
want to
her-
come out.
Did you tell her G was on
Of course I told her, G.
Whoops, sorry. Whoop. I'll go.
Mum goes. So as you see, Mum is enjoying it. Oh, you're looking great, Maria, from Vicky. She, great. That's because she does her beauty routine. I'm telling you guys, it's all about doing the moisturising and
That's what
whatever else.
daughters told me to do.
Whose daughters?
Nikki,
Oh, her daughters, Nikki.
but I tell you what, I think you just waste your money. But anyway, I'll have a call over about.
Yep, she'll give it a go. Yes, damper. We have been waiting to cook a damper. We love damper, but we want to cook it. I want to cook it traditionally in the camp oven over a fire. The one place we could have had a fire was Royalty Beach. I would never have a fire in that circumstance with that wind, even though we're on the beach. It's just the last thing you want to start is a fire, bushfire. So unfortunately, no, we haven't had a fire yet in order to, have a damper. But that is on the list of experiences to do. I'm sure at some stage when we can have a fire, the first thing we'll be cooking in it is damper, a good pork roast veggies, and probably just not even in the camp oven with the roast veggies. We'll just wrap them up in foil and throw them in the coals with the potato and the sweet potato, the carrot. Oh, it'll just be delicious. Now you made me hungry, Stumpy. Now I'm fanging for a roast. Oh yeah, Queensland's humidity is brutal. Down here it's not too bad. We get really hot days here in South Australia, but it seems to be a drier heat or a less humidity heat than what Queensland is, which is crazy because we were near the coast, but it wasn't that you just want to die and you're just dripping with sweat and everything like that. So yes, South Australia heat is definitely different to Queensland heat, that is for sure. But yeah, a bit of a recap for those who have just joined us on Facebook, Insta, and also YouTube. As we said, we started out, we headed north to Cape York, across to Mount Isa, to Katherine, down through the middle, saw all the sites, and then Coober Pedy into Port Lincoln, South Australia, and then we went to the York Peninsula, and then now we're in the Adelaide Hills. So it's been good fun actually, and we've had a lot of issues too. So we've had a lot of car issues, we've had a lot of van issues, and we bought the new car. So again, still needs a name, guys. So if you can come up with your suggestions for names, that would be awesome. Might even choose one, who knows. I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, and the majority of things that I own have always had a name based on that. The Vision actually, the Caravan doesn't have a name either. Maybe Technodrome, something like that. Don't know yet. So if come up with some hot tips for that, that'd be great. Give us some names. Our travel plans have changed this year. Like I said, we were going to be heading to WA from South Australia, but now we're actually heading back to Queensland because Mum has bought a place in an independent living thing for older people, whatever they're called. So we're going to be moving her into that in March. So that'll be a quick trip home for me, dropping her off where my sisters, lucky them, get to move her in. Haha, suckers. And then I will be heading off, and I'll be heading over to WA from there. So that'll be exciting for Mum, and then Mum will fly in and out essentially of my travel around doing the lap. She will come to the things she wants to see, and then if I'm staying on a beach for however long I want to stay and the weather's nice, unlike royalty, she will fly home. So that'll be fun too. It'll be a different type of travel then for Mum. The channel. Hey Kylie, how you going? Yes, you never know, we might catch up, you might get to see the kid if you're lucky. She'll definitely, fossils equal older people. That's right, she is a fossil. Stevie doesn't want to come and join us today. She's being a poo bum. She's generally the most happy in front of the camera kid you'll ever meet. Take a photo, cheese. But this morning she just doesn't want to be a part of it, which is probably because it's early. I had to wake up early. I almost died waking up. But yes, the channel. We got some awesome, exciting things happening with the channel. So there will be tutorials. So for the chicks out there, the ladies, the women, the solo mums, just anyone in general that want to get out, and even for weekenders or get amongst it, do a lap, whatever it is, but you don't have the confidence, the skills or the knowledge, things like that, I'll be banging some tutorials on, such as hitching up, towing, reversing, changing a tyre, fault finding in the engine, and then things like how to unbog yourself on the beach, how to unbog yourself in the bush, recoveries, all of those sorts of things. So I'll be putting through tutorials on that. Top end of Australia. Oh yeah, there's a lot of good called Outback. I don't think I've seen Outback, but I've seen a lot of movies about Australia that people are generally stranded and they've got to then survive. So that's also a reason I bought the Troopy, so I didn't have to survive. I got rid of the Ranger so I could actually just not get stuck. That's the plan with that. But yeah, we'll be bringing some tutorials to the channel for you. We've got Patreons where we'll be doing lives every Thursday night and a Zoom call at the last Thursday of every month. So first Thursday of every month will be the live, and the last Thursday of every month will be the Zoom chat, the big group Zoom chat. So if you want to support us and get amongst those things, Patreon, that's where I'll pop the links down below as to all of that. There's a website being built, there'll be merchandise for sale and things like that if you want to help support us, so that'll be great. And the podcast, so my mate Ali and I, Wolf Creek, that is a classic. I love Wolf Creek, cannot wait to visit Wolf Creek Crater. Definitely will be camping out there and probably not sleeping, but I'll definitely be camping there. Podcast, yes, it's called Fierce and Free Adventure Life, and it will be dropping an episode the last Sunday of every month. So Ali and I will be hosting that. That's going to be super duper exciting, and we can't wait. We're going to have guest speakers on there, and it's all going to be about empowering and inspiring women and just having a good chat, a good laugh and everything like that. So it's going to be super duper exciting. Wolf Creek is based on a true story. So for those of you that are here, if you're not Australian, the guy who starred in Wolf Creek actually was the host of a kids show called Play School. So it's pretty hectic. He's gone from the family friendly guy to this crazed serial killer in the outback. But yes, it does sound awesome. I'm pretty excited where the channel's heading this year, Vicky. It's going to have a lot of cool content. Going to be expanding. It'll still have every Saturday, it'll still be the vlog of our travels, absolutely, but we'll be throwing in some good hot tips for people as well. But yeah, Wolf Creek, can't wait. Definitely will be camping there. That'll be a time. We may make it out, we may not. So, does anyone have a name you can throw out for the Troopy? Hopefully everyone's madly typing, giving me something. It traumatized you for 10 years. Speaking of movies that traumatize people, that was Child's Play, or Chucky as I called it. My sisters made me watch it when I was, I would have been 6. So for those of you who don't know, I have 2 elder sisters and an elder brother. I'm the youngest, I'm the baby. But my eldest sisters are 12 and 9 years older than me. So they were naturally of an appropriate age to watch Chucky. I wasn't. Anyway, watched it. Traumatized me for years. I couldn't be left in a room alone. I'd just get scared that Chucky was going to come through the wall and eat me, kill me. And then my bed had to be moved. I had bunk bed with my brother, and I actually had to get a cot then, like not a baby cot, but a trundle bed, or you know what you call a cot, a little camping type bed. And I had to put that in the center of the room. I couldn't sleep near any walls because I was scared, because Chucky used to come through the wall vents and stuff. But yeah, I was traumatized for many years with Chucky. However, now I love it. I wouldn't let Stevie watch it though, but I do love a good scary movie now. Mum's in the background laughing at me because, yeah, Mum said it wouldn't be a scary movie now. I think it still is. It's a pretty, and I mean, Chucky the doll in itself is just an ugly looking doll. Like, anyway, Bradley Murdoch, top end of Australia. He is never getting out of prison. Yes, that's right. Bradley Murdoch. He was the serial killer. Yes, he is in jail and he will not be getting out, which is a good thing. Safe for all. We've got a few good stories of serial killers in Australia that targeted travelling people and backpackers. Ivan Milat, he was another one. Psycho. But hopefully now in this day and age, we're a little bit safer, a bit more knowledgeable, and we don't have that many serial killers, I don't think, hopefully. I don't know. Knowing us and our luck, we'll definitely find out. We tend to have all the luck on this trip. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments, guys. If you see me doing the Aussie wave, it's because flies, they're a pain in the bum. They're not too bad here, but they're just annoying. The hotter it gets, the more flies you get and the more annoying they are. Today though, once I jump off this live with all you legends, we're going to be hitting up a local market, a farmer's market. So we're keen to get some fruit and veg, probably some more beef jerky, sample all the wares of the Adelaide Hills today at this market. It's going to be great. Naturally, you'll see it all at a later date. Hey Bubba, you're going to come out and say hello? You've just had your milk, sweetie. You going to come say hi? No. Okay. No. Oh, to be a kid and just be weighted on hand and foot, wouldn't that be nice? Oh, another thing, guys, I've just had a look at our statistics for the YouTube channel, Adventure Life Oz. Stevie, Georgia says hi. You gonna say hi to G? No. Just yell it out. No. No. She's been a little bumhole today, Georgia. Sorry about that, kiddo. I know you wanted to see her more than anyone, but you get to see me. But yes, G is one of Stevie's mates back home, one of her best mates, and Stevie does miss you a lot, G. She talks about you all the time, and my friend's G, my friend Harper, so she does miss you, G, and we'll have to have a good big catch up when we can at one day. I'm sure Stevie will be stoked to see you. Hey Cheryl, how you going, mate? Cheryl is one of my basketball mums. And now just a friend. We've moved on. So a lot of people, Kylie's another basketball mum. So a lot of my basketball mums are just now friends, which is great. I'm generally the coach of their kids. I get to yell and scream at them, probably more than their parents do, and their parents are probably like, yes, someone's yelling and screaming at them. No, they're all really, really good kids. Yes, Stevie? You want some milk? She wants some milk. We'll have to get Nana to get the milk, I'd say. Thanks, Mum. It's nice having a little waiter as well to help you out when you have to do things like this and get to chat to everyone. But as I was saying, if you could like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be awesome. The subscribe thing and the return viewers are a lot lower than my new viewers. So if you're just coming on every week to watch, which is fantastic, absolutely keep doing that, but just hit the little bell and that way you'll get notified and subscribe, and the bell will notify you when new episode's out. And if you subscribe, then you won't miss out on anything and it's easier to find me. And if you like my videos, that goes a long way to helping me out too. And that's just a small thing you can do to really help us out here. How high did the water get on Boxing Day? Cheryl, you're making me relive my trauma. No, I've got PTSD from it now, not really. It came up to at least the wheels of the caravan, if not under the caravan. So yes, we are all okay now. Mum and Stevie weren't there. They were in Queensland doing Christmas and everything with the family, which was lovely for them. That means Stevie was blissfully unaware of any drama that we had on Christmas and Boxing Day. So yeah, it came all the way up to under the van, at least to the wheels of both the car and the van. They were up as high as you could. And on the 27th, when I left, I naturally packed everything up, but to get the van and the car out, all 4 Max Tracks were under the car wheels to try and, just get it to pop up onto the top of the sand. I didn't film any of this. I just wanted to get out of there, which is a shame because it was a great, well, it shows you what happens when you beach camp, right? It was a crazy time, but to get the van in there, the car had to sink down. So I had to dig holes for the back wheels of the car to reverse into, to tell the girls Stumpy said hello. Stumpy said hi, kiddo. Yeah, so I had to actually dig holes to reverse the car into to get it low enough that the hitch of the caravan could go over the tow ball, and I've got a DO35 hitch and that dropped onto it. So yes, I had to dig and then I had to line it up in soft sand, which is always fun because you slide. And with the track being different on the back. So for those of you who don't know, in the 70 series Land Cruisers, to get the big V8s in, they had to widen the front end. So that means the front diff is wider than the rear diff. The rear diff is narrower. So as you're going, especially on soft sand, you actually crab crawl up the beach like this. So to try and reverse it, you've got the back end sliding into ruts this way, you've got the front end going that way. So that was quite a challenge to load that up with one, not having a reverse camera. So to get out to make sure, and even if it's off, a smidge, I would try and push it to get there. And in the end, I had to push it across, I think, that much, which was quite a lot of weight when the jockey wheel was sitting on a Max Track. So of course anyway, that was a time just hitching up. So once it got hitched up, beauty, that's when the next set of digging began. So I had to dig, put the Max Tracks in, pop it up, get it forward a bit, bog down, dig again, Max Tracks under. I think I did that about 4 times. And then once we got out onto the harder sand, then it was simple as, and off the beach we went. However, I did lose 1 Max Tracks in the sand at Royalty Beach. Yeah, I'll get to the floor mat. So yes, if you come across that Max Track, enjoy it. It's all yours. You'll have to dig for it. I did spend a bit of time digging around for it, but then I thought also, you know what? Stuff it. Let's just get the hell off this beach. I've had enough. Say hi again, Mum.
Oh, hi. Hi.
You walk in the background, you got to say hi.
I'm doing all the work.
Oh. Yeah, so that was a time. What else? The cleanup. I spent 3 days cleaning sand out of everything. The car's kind of done, but really not. That was just the caravan. I did 4 or 5 loads of washing when I got to the Minlaton Caravan Park. Cheryl says hi. And just one muck mat. I put it out on TikTok, Insta and Facebook. So if you haven't seen it, it's called Sandstorm, that little short. And the amount of sand that came out of one muck mat was just incredible. So if you're worried about traipsing stuff in through your caravan, muck mats are pretty good at trapping the dirt and the sand. That was a good example of how well they work. Yeah, I was beating that mat on the fence for a good few hours on and off. And then the Sea Gear mats. I have to give Sea Gear. I'm not sponsored, by the way, by any products that I ever talk about. You've given me PTSD. Yes, it was an ordeal, the beach camping, but I'm definitely going to be doing it again. Don't get me wrong. I do need a break from it just now, though. I definitely needed time to regroup, but I will be doing a lot of beach camping over in WA. That's the story of why I don't camp. No, you've got to get out and camp, Kylie. It's good fun. Although your overseas trip just recently looked unreal. I'm sure the girls and Ben absolutely loved it. But Sea Gear, I'll get to the Sea Gear mat. It's an excellent, excellent mat. And what it does, it's made actually for helicopters and landing. So if sand and dirt get on top of the mat, it actually filters down through the layers and it won't come back up. So that was the greatest thing about Sea Gear. However, on this occasion, when the water swept sand with the water up, it got trapped between the layers of the Sea Gear mat. What that meant was with wet sand, it doesn't sieve as good, and I definitely could not sieve it myself. There was a lot of sand, so unfortunately I had to even be able to lift it with that much wet sand in it, I had to slice open my Sea Gear mat, and it's got a big slice in it about that big and a few other little, and had to scoop this sand out. Once the sand dried at the Mulatten Caravan Park, what was left, I could sieve that out easy enough, and that was fine. There was still a lot of sand in it there. My fellow campers that were around me, that, you know, you meet everyone that's camped next to you, had a good laugh at my sand cleaning experiences. So that was, yeah. Boxing Day and Christmas 2024 is definitely one I'm not going to forget in a hurry. Oh no way, Stumpy's in the know with all the footy players. He's got Daniel Harris, his auntie's cousin. So Stumpy, my mate Cheryl, is a huge Bombers fan, so you guys could talk footy for days. He's 43 years old, there you go. I haven't been, oh sorry. Yeah, Vicky, so I haven't been watching the cricket much, Stumpy, unfortunately. I've been just living life. We do have a TV coming though. Mum needed a TV, so we've been living without a TV now and just using phones and things. But Mum wanted a TV, so we've got a nice 12-volt smart TV coming, and that's probably where I'll watch the cricket, even though Mum wanted the TV. And Mum's face just now is a face of absolute disgust. Mum does not, she's not really into sport. She'll watch Origin, that's about it. But yeah, her face right now is one of pure disgust about watching the cricket. Yeah, Vicky, so back to the Sea Gear. So the letter C and gear, G-E-A-R. They're not cheap by any means. They're actually quite expensive. You can get them in heaps of different sizes because they're for caravans now. They bring out the caravan footage and things like that. Essendon Football Club. Peter Somerville's family are my cousins. Wow, Stumpy, you've got Miss Stumpy's famous, everyone. He's got famous family. So if anyone meets Stumpy, you'll probably meet pretty much everyone who plays AFL. Yeah, but Vicky, they are OC. Yep, that's the one. Yes, so I know where Vicky lives. It's a place called Beachmere in Queensland. It's near Bribie Island, and the sand there is hectic. And so a Sea Gear mat would be very handy as well. And muck mats, they make them just as your little entry mats as well, Vicky, if you wanted that. And so they're pretty good. They stop a lot of junk getting in the van too for us. So, but Sea Gear mats, they are They are excellent. Expensive, but well worth the money.
Is that Vicky at Deep Fair?
Yes, Mum, of course it's...
Well, tell her about those mats, the dogs like them.
Oh yeah, Tisha loves the muck mat. Tisha, I bought 2 muck mats. One was meant to be for outside the caravan step. You go up the little steps that we bought. And then I've got one just in the caravan well step. And then I bought one to go in the next part of the caravan. So really I could just walk to my bed and not get any junk on the floor. Anyway, that did not happen. Tisha has stolen the second muck mat and she sleeps on that now. She loves it. So that one's set up for her. I do want it, sounds perfect. They are excellent. Yes, there is a sand mine in Beachmere. I think, oh, what's it called? Pacific Sands. They mine there and they have done for many, many years now. Yeah, the Bombers. Boo! My brother-in-law is a Bombers fan as well, but go the Swannies. My dad is good friends with Jeff Albert, Gary Ablett's brother, Ablett. Oh, wow. Peter's cousin, Sean Somerville. Holy dooly. Did you ever play AFL Stumpy? Were you an AFL player or just a mad fan whose family married everyone that did play? Sorry again for those who tuned in on Facebook and Instagram. We had huge tech issues, mainly with timings as well. And then it just didn't go live for ages. It was saying live on my screen, but it wasn't live, and then it finally kicked over to live. So I apologize for you guys if you were waiting there and yes, didn't come on at, what would it be, 7 o'clock Queensland time, 7:30 here in South Australia, and I think, 8 o'clock in daylight savings time. Too many time zones to keep up with, guys. It messes with my head a lot. The cooling mat. Vicky bought her dog mum the cooling mat. And as soon as it went down, they thought it was a pee mat and, the rest. Yep, that's generally little dogs and what they do. They're a pain in the bum, especially to toilet train. If anyone's got any hot tips, speaking of toilet training, if you got some hot tips, Stevie just refuses. Send them my way. It's a challenge and a half. It's killing me. When I was little, I played juniors. Ah, gotcha. Hence the nickname Stumpy, I'd say. Soccer, yes. I was heavily involved in football for a time, mainly as a supporter, not so much now. I do like soccer though. I'll watch it if it's around, but other than that, no. I'm been heavily back into basketball for the past few years, coaching at the Brisbane Caps in their QSL women's program with my best mate Mark. He was head coach, and he asked me if I wanted to be his assistant, and I did. And last season, it is last season now because it's 2025, we won the QSL Women's Division 1 Championship undefeated, which is just crazy. Like to win it all is special, but to win it undefeated is just unheard of, and it's such a rarity for that to happen. But we did it. Yeah, the Caps, that's right, Kylie. Kylie's daughter Ella was our captain. Awesome defender. Loved Ella's game. Man, she could defend with the best of them. We had some lockdown defenders on our team, and I think that was the secret to our success, was we had the best defense by far in the league, led by our captain Ella, Chloe, Sophie Bennett, and well, actually all of them. We made them all play defense in the end. So yeah, they were a great group of girls. No drama, which is unheard of in women's sport. World's best coaches. Thanks, mate. I'll take that. Mum's giving me the time thing because we're going to go to a market soon. She's very rude, that woman, very rude. It's 8:45. I've been yammering on for nearly, an hour and 15 minutes. Who would have thought? Mo United. Yeah, right, so you did a fair bit of soccer, Stumpy. That's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, yes, I'll start wrapping it up here. Again, sorry for the Instagram and Facebook peoples. I think our next live, whenever I hold that, will definitely be a lot smoother. Thank you for coming on, everyone, and just talking with me and then listening to me yammer on about all of our travels and the year that's coming. It's going to be exciting. No doubt the plan that is will be the plan that changes, but for at least the next few months, it's pretty certain and locked in. Yep, heaps of awesome stuff coming to the channel with the Patreon lives and Zoom calls, the website, merchandise, and the podcast. So awesome times ahead, excuse me, coming for the channel. Yes, AJ, having an epic time. Epic is definitely one word for it. Bye, G. Sorry, Stevie didn't come on, kiddo. I will get her to call you later, actually. We'll do a special little call for you and Stevie, kiddo. But thank you for watching. Love you, G. Yes, AJ, having an epic time. It is one word for it. Epic, hectic, traumatizing, all of these things. But it's been fun, and yes, it is a nice car. You got a name for it? I need a name, guys. I need a name. Yeah, right. Yes, as you get a bit older, it is definitely longer to recover when you play sports and get injured. Stumpy, I know that for sure.
A name for your car, Toots?
Toots. Oh, so Mum said a name for the car, Toots. So, but this is for Toots. Toots was a truckie back in the 60s and stuff. And she used to do all the trucking up in Cape York. She's actually a pretty unreal lady. If you've never heard of Toots, have a quick Google. Might have a chat about her at a later date. But yeah, she was, call it Sandy. Oh, that's a good idea. G, Sandy. That's not bad. It's shortlisted, G. It's shortlisted.
And Sandy's really the colour.
Well, it's Sandy Taught, Mum, yeah. Look at Mum. Mum's coming along on the ride with you, G, and that name. It was nice meeting you also, Stumpy. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it, mate. Yes, AJ, start thinking of a name. Needs a name like New Beginning after all the shit's behind you. Harmony. I don't know about Harmony. I understand where you're going with it, Vicky, but I don't know. Don't know. Have to think. It's hard to name it because once you name something, sorry, Mum.
Hopeful Harmony.
Hopeful Harmony. You're out. Nah. But yeah, once you name it, that's it. It sticks with it, you know. And I've always gone with Ninja Turtle names. So the Ranger was Shredder because it was a meteor grey and Shredder was grey. People might have thought Shredder meant something different, but no, it was just Shredder off the Ninja Turtles. But yeah, I also got to name the caravan. But let's just focus on the Troopy first because it's a beast and I can't wait to start on the build. Ninja. Mum, you can stop with your suggestions now. Mum has the worst suggestions. She's laughing in the background, but she's a shocker. Oh, Mum said Sandy. Good job, Laura. Laura's G's mum, Sandy. Not bad. I like where we're going with that one. Shortlisted for sure, Laura. Shortlisted for sure. But all right, guys, I will end it here very shortly. But yes, thank you for coming on our first live. It has been fun. If you could like and subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell, that's even better. That's awesome. And we'll have to do another live at some point in the future, I'm sure. But there will be one held every Thursday. On the first Thursday of every month, there will be a live on that for Patreon members. It's $5. And then we'll be also having, for the next tier, a Zoom call on the last Thursday of every month. So I'll pop the Patreon link in the description below once we've ended this live, and I'll pop it on all the socials as well for you. But yeah, come along for the ride in 2025. It's going to be awesome. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you all soon. Next week's episode will be all about Cuba PD. So stay tuned for that. I was so super surprised with Cuba PD. I really, really loved it. Yes, Australia does have the most deadliest snake. I think it has the top 9 out of 10 deadliest snakes in the world too. So Australia, the place of deadly animals. Google it this summer. Yes, I will. I think it's the Central Inland Taipan, I believe. It's along that, but it's a taipan in Central Australia, or the desert taipan, something like that. It's the world's deadliest, venomous wise. So there you go. Fun facts for you all. Yes, Vicky, Cooper Pedy was awesome. You'll love it. And nope. And then the following week will be a bit more on Cooper Pedy as well, but we did have some audio issues with the GoPro, so it'll be a beautifully dubbed episode. It will be so poorly dubbed, you'll find it hilarious. But that's the next couple of weeks coming at ya. It won't all be Cooper Pedy for 2 weeks. There'll be a little bit more after Cooper Pedy in the second episode with probably some Port Lincoln stuff. So get excited. I swam or dived with great white sharks. Did we see them? You'll have to wait out and see. Snorkeled with sea lions. So that's all coming. So get excited. It's going to be epic, guys.
Collecting oysters.
Yes, all the oysters. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. Stevie, you want to come and say bye-bye? She's at the door. We almost had her, but no. All right, guys. Get amongst it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.